Welcome to the first installment of Meeting at the Well. In this illustration that I created, I had in mind Jacob's well. And it is approximately 4,000 years old. And it was used in the time of Jesus, which was 2,000 years after Jacob originally built. So this thing was old. Even when it was old, it was really old. And people knew how to dig wells. And there would be a shaft that was dug. Now, honestly, don't ask me how they knew this water was down here. According to the Bible, God guided Jacob and his sons to the place where they would dig the well, and it was correct. There was a freshwater source where they were guided to dig. So they would dig a long shaft until they hit a source of fresh water under the ground. And mind you, this is an artist depiction. I created this artwork for fun as part of my journal. This is in no way architecturally sound or accurate. So you have to imagine, that this would be very, very, very deep into the earth. But I only had so much paper. So a freshwater source would run through the underground, and this is constantly moving water. This water is not stagnant. This could be in a cave. This could be in bedrock formation, like traps, pockets. Let's call them pockets where water, a freshwater source would accumulate, but it constantly would keep moving. It was fresh. They also called this living water, as opposed to water that was being stored in a stagnant vessel with no other clean water running through it. So once the shaft was dug down to a close proximity to the freshwater source, a platform would be built, and then an area would be built up with stones to mark the area, but also to keep you from, falling into the well, I'm pretty sure. And also they would build scaffold and a thing to hold the amphora, which were usually clay pots, terracotta fired clay pots that they would use, and they would tie it to the wood and then gently lower it. And again, I'm an artist, not an architect. This is a rough representation and by no means not an actual engineering, schematic for building a well. It's just for fun. So they would lower the amphora that was tied to a rope way, way down deep into the... Whoops. You hope that didn't happen. You don't want to lose that. They would dip the amphora into the fresh water and then pull it back up again. And then they usually had some sort of harness of some sort where they would carry it on their shoulders, and usually two, so that it would be balanced. So again, artist representation, I would imagine that there would be seats because there might be a line. People would come early in the morning. Generally, it was women that would go to the well to get the water for the day or week. I'm not really sure how long an amphora of water would last or be good for. So you might have to look that up. I'm not quite certain of that. But they would wait in the morning, and usually the wells had some sort of covering over the top to probably not so much protect stuff from going to the well, because it would be able to get in there anyway, but probably for people, so that if they did come, in the heat of the day, they would have a little source of shade, somewhere to rest, somewhere to talk to their neighbors or people from other villages, because this well was used by people all over, not just one particular. I mean, hundreds and thousands of people visited this well all the time. And a lot of times major foot routes were built very close to wells so that travelers would easily be able, kind of like a pit stop today where you have to pull over and, take care of some business. You might need some fresh water. And so it's like, okay, next well isn't for, 60 miles. So, all right, we better fill up our canteens here. All right. So that's kind of what was going on back in the day. And again, I imagined that there would be places to hold and keep your empty amphora while you filled them. And then the next person would come again, just artist representation. But here it is, my interactive Jacob's Well. And there will be more water source, living water well stories to come. So this little well might get some good use out of it.